Back to its current year. Today we have another fan submission today from my good friend Red Legion. He is playing Flying Taco, so a very high level replay here between two very good players. Red Legion is playing the Empire. Flying Taco is playing the High Elves. We'll go through his force. So front line of Rangers, pretty good. Trade very well with Empire State Troops. Basically, will beat anything head-to-head with the exception of probably Great Swords. 2 units of regular archers, pretty cheap, pretty cost-effective. A lot of the sort of missile play from the Empire is pretty squishy, and they outrange basically all of them with 180 range on their longbows. So it's a good, cheap, effective way of seeing off things like handgunners and that sort of thing. Rahagra's Pride, and on this side, cool unit. Obviously, the ROR White Line with their Roar effect, which debuffs leadership, and obviously some anti-infantry capabilities there. And we have the Fireborn and Dragon Princes. Obviously, the Fireborn are one of the better elite cav units in the game, obviously with their anti-large fire attacks and good physical resistance. Likewise, the Dragon Princes can be a bit of a pain for Empire to deal with. They trade very well in cavalry battles because of their physical resistance and good combat stats. We've got a big Star Drago here up in the sky, probably one of the absolute alpha predators within the game, one of the best single entities. And we have Alariel the Radiant on a horsey who has looks like the Shieldstone of Ishar for some physical resistance, fast protection, earth blood, as well as the Star of Avalon for the blob healing. So pretty common kit there for Alariel. Obviously, she's an excellent legendary lord choice. So the front line for Red Legion's Empire, Spearmen with shields, as well as the Sigmar's Sons, the Unbreakable Swordsman unit to just hold the line. So this is basically just your roadblock. Empire don't win with their infantry, particularly not in this matchup. But behind that, we have a unit of Reichsguard as well as Zintler's Reichsguard. So that's a pretty cool pick, and obviously super cool unit model here on the Zintler's Reichsguard. They'll be good for cycle the Reichsguard are better in prolonged combat, but they'll be good for cycle charging the Rangers. Not going to have a great matchup against the Fireborn and the Dragon Princes, but this is obviously what the Royal Altdorf Griffites here are for, with their great stats, armor piercing, anti-large. There's also 2 units of Pistoliers, as well as, I thought there was one unit of grenade launchers. Appears I am mistaken, but there are the Silver Bullets. Silver Bullets are going to need to get some shots into those Dragon Princes. Obviously, the armor piercing and the magical ammunition is big at bypassing physical resistance, but they've got some good targets. Obviously, the Star Dragon as well. We have a Mortar War Wagon, which is a good choice. It's good for breaking up the tightly packed infantry. Obviously, not going to be great against the Rangers, but the Archers will certainly have a tough time with them. An Amber Wizard with Flock of Doom, transformation of Cadon for Manticores, as well as the Power Stone. And this is one of Red Legion's favorite legendary lords. He loves Volkmar with all these buffs, and obviously the Jade Griffin for his regen. So two pretty solid builds here. Volkmar's pretty popular, a pretty popular choice for the Empire, and obviously Alariel's. I'd say Alariel's in the top handful or so of legendary lords in the game, just with her ability for heals and her synergy with large single entities like the Star Dragon. So Red Legion's going to be fairly passive. He has obviously the range advantage with the war wagons, so they're going to get some early shots into the infantry, and he's going to be organising his cav to sort of mirror the movements. The Altdorf Griffites here have some good targets. Obviously, Rahagra's Pride are a large unit. The Star Dragon's gonna really take something like the Altdorf Griffites to bring it down, particularly with the healing from Alariel. But there's also the Dragon Princes here, which are gonna be pretty tough for Red Legion to deal with. So just sort of feeling each other out. The obviously Silver Bullets here are a little bit obstructed. One thing about this map, it seems flat, but there's also a lot of lips sort of in the map. So straight line skirmishes and artillery can actually be obstructed a lot worse than a lot of people realize on this map. But some early shots in here on the Rangers. But as I said here, the Archers are really going to be a thorn in the Silver Bullet side, obviously with their looping arcs they're going to get good. They're going to get favourable trades in the missile game with him. So the mortar wagons have some work to do here. Star Dragon jumping down. Good response here by Red Legion with the Royal Elf Griffites, but a nice little synergy here with Rahagra's Pride. All of these are having their leadership debuffed by the mighty Roar. There's also a fast protection going down here for some melee defense and armor, and a lot of this is going to start to get terror routed if Red Legion isn't careful. Also, the Star of Avalon going down here. The Star Dragon's not in it at the moment, but the Rahagra's Pride are making use of it, and yeah, real chaotic engagement there. The Silver Bullets have really copped it at the hands of the Archers, and the frontline fighting between the Rangers and the State Troops is not going to be going well for Red Legion. The Fireborn out here don't have a lot of threats on this side of the battlefield. They could probably be pushing through and actually finishing off the War Wagons pretty quickly here, but they're deciding to lap round and I think sort of solidify the shooting, because Taco does realise that the Archers are probably pretty important at screening out the Pistoliers, screening out the Silver Bullets if they come back. The fighting over here hasn't gone too well for Red Legion. The Altdorf Griffites have actually been beaten back, and they haven't really done a lot to the Star Dragon. It's still rocking, nearly 5,000 HP. Volkmar and the Manticore are after it, but that Manticore summon is going to be degrading soon, and that's not really a fight that Volkmar wants to take. He's sort of more an anti-infantry specialist on his War Wagon. The Silver Bullets get him back in and firing some shots in, so he's done some good damage to this. He's taken it down by nearly probably just over 1,500 HP in the last few seconds we've been talking, but Rahagra's Pride have pushed through onto the Silver Bullets. The remainder of the Altdorf Griffites are gonna kill them pretty quick, but it might be enough to rout the Silver Bullets again. Over this side of the battlefield, Zintler's Reichsguard have pushed off these two units of Rangers quite well, and might be an opportunity here for just re-solidify and recontest the frontline fighting with his spearmen with shields, and Pipes put some pressure on the Archers here. Looks like the Reichsguard are going to push them down pretty swiftly here, but there's still 45 unit models and plenty of healing potential left with Alariel the Radiant on the Fireborn, so they're going to be a real challenge for Red Legion, particularly given how busted the Royal Altdorf Griffites are at the moment. There's not a clear-cut threat to the Fireborn at the moment. On the other hand, though, this Manticore has just been a bit of a pest and seeing off this Star Dragon. I think it probably will degrade before this Star Dragon either gets killed or is shattered. But so he's going to come back to the front line now, and obviously you can see here the Silver Bullets have just been hounded this entire game. 12 kills. The Rangers are obviously going to cut them down pretty quickly, and now, even though Volkmar has some blob busting ability, 45 models here, a couple of the Rahagra's Pride left, and some Rangers just to sort of buff it out. It's just sort of getting to the point of no return almost for Red Legion here. I think there's still another Star of Avalon, which might actually end up going down on the Star Dragon once it comes back. So there's an Earthblood going down on them at the moment. The Altdorf Griffites are going to be run down by the Dragon Princes. We've got, obviously, this poor old Silver Bullets have shattered. The Pistoliers here are trying to sort of just ferry off these Pistoliers. They've been sort of screened out until recently by the Archers. Got at least the Mortar Wagons ripping some shots in here, but there's just I mean, the Fireborn here with 43 unit models left could almost carry this in their own right. They're trying to get after the Pistoliers here. Yeah, here we go. The Star of Avalon's coming down, so you can see, the Dragon's back up to over 1,000 hit points. Might have a couple of breath weapons back left just to clear the infantry, but they're sort of running out of too much really any options here for the High Elves. The Dragon Prince or the Fireborn are getting the last of this Star of Avalon. The Star Dragon's up to 2k health now. Volkmar may be able to help out a little bit with his buffs. Obviously we see the Grand Shield of Faith and the Grand Hammer of Sigmar going down, but there's just not a lot of targets left, or the value targets I guess for Flying Taco that he has left are are not really what Volkmar wants to be fighting. There is a Flock of Doom going down, but that's not going to cause a lot of damage to what Tarko has left. And with a healthy Alariel the Radiant, an alive Star Dragon, I wouldn't say it's healthy. Grand Hammer of Sigmar going down, or Grand Hammer of Sigmar, or the Bombardment, causing a little bit of damage, but yeah, it's sort of grinding towards defeat here for the Empire. May be able to take this Star Dragon down with him. There has been some damage put into the Fireborn as well, but we see Rahagras Pride now chasing off the Pistoliers, which haven't really been able to really do a lot of work. We do see a speed debuff and with the Mighty Roar going down just before the Rahagras Pride break. The archers here are going to be putting some work into here, into the Pistoliers, and we've got basically the infantry just shielding them out, so that the Star Drago can take down Volkmar. And with Volkmar dying, that's going to be curtains. We're going to hit army losses and a valiant defeat for Red Legion's Empire at the hands of Flying Tarko, who I would definitely have in sort of the top echelon of Total War Warhammer 2 on the multiplayer scene. I've had a number of battles against him myself on ladder, and he's a tough one to crack. Very, very good player. Red Legion on a bit of a hiatus from the game at the moment. He's taken a little bit of a break just to recharge the batteries, but still a very, very good player in his own right. Successful tournament player. So yeah, I mean, Red's an Empire main. He loves Volkmar, and it's pretty much what you normally see him take. I have seen obviously a number of his games and spectated a number of his games in tournaments and whatnot, and he does like this sort of build. He does love war wagons. He loves Volkmar, but in this case, I think the archers getting a good trade with the silver bullets, not allowing them to really do anything, and then being able to screen out the Pistoliers. The Reichsguard are in, the Zintlers did some work and managed to get into the back line, and managed to kill some rangers on one side of the battlefield. But you look at the infantry, rangers have an advantage over state troops. You look at the ranged game here, archers, even as cheap as they are, had the probably edge over Pistoliers and the silver bullets. The Altdorf Griffites were able to be worked down by Rahagras Pride and the Star Dragon, and Alariel obviously helping them with their healing. And then on the other side of the battlefield, Reichsguard and the Zintlers don't really have a favourable engagement against Dragon Princes. So in terms of the build, I'd say what Flying Tarko here pretty hard countered what Red Legion has brought, and still he's managed to pull out a pretty close game. So it's definitely a build order advantage, or a build advantage here for Flying Tarko, but certainly two very, very good players going at it in a pretty intense scrap. So thank you very much to Red Legion for sending that in. Big props sending in a game where you don't win, but a good game's a good game, and pleasure to cast. So thank you, buddy, and thanks for everyone for watching. Until next time, take care.